Alright guys, I'm pretty excited about this one because if you saw a couple months back, I tried out another pizza oven that I was pretty stoked about, although I was severely disappointed because it had mediocre results at best. The only thing that it can contribute to that downfall was that there was a metal wall between the fire and the pizza stone, so the stone never got hot enough to make a good pizza. This time, however, we got the EASITALY gas-powered outdoor pizza oven that's going to allow us to make a 12-inch pizza in our backyard, and I'm very confident that this is going to be so much better because the fire is actually inside with the pizza stone, so it should definitely get hot enough this time. Quick little summary, this thing will heat up to over 900 degrees Fahrenheit in about 15 minutes and will cook a Neapolitan style pizza in just 60 seconds. And if it actually does that, this is a good pizza oven. Box is looking pretty good. The design of the pizza oven's looking very nice, but let's get inside and see how it looks in the real world. All right, everything looks like it's packaged very securely. It does include a 12-inch metal pizza peel. It's obviously not blue, it just has some film on it to protect it. A little recipe book that has recipes for pizzas as well as different types of items you can cook in here, because you can also use this oven to make steaks, chicken, you name it, whatever you want to flame grill. Then right here inside this box, we have the 12-inch pizza stone, and it's nice. They have it put in a box with bubble wrap, and of course, luckily, boom. Perfect, no damage, because that would totally suck. Then right here we actually have a little dust cover, so if you want to keep this thing outside and protect it from the elements, you put this on it, and it also doubles as a backpack if you want to take this with you on your back for some reason. Smells like a pool inflatable. They also include an infrared thermometer so you can test how hot the pizza oven is before you throw in your pizza, so that's very nice to see. We have the propane gas hose here. It's already attached to the oven. It is only about 3 feet long, so it's very short and you have to keep the tank close by, but I happen to have a 6-footer that I use, and I'll just use that one because it gives you a lot more versatility. It also includes an adapter so you can use propane tanks of any size, whether they're 1 pound or 20 pounds. Of course, we have a user manual to get you started. We have this little metal rod here that I'm sure is used for something, I'm just not sure what. Here we have the actual handle for the pizza peel, but I have my own pizza peels already. Oh, I almost cut myself on this one, but we do have a pizza cutter as well. Very nice to see that they include everything you need. And then we have the actual pizza oven itself. I'm trying to get this hose off, but it's kind of on there, so I'll just leave it on there for now. All right. Okay, this thing's actually looking pretty nice. This thing's actually lighter weight than the other one too, so that's pretty cool. It's a lot more portable. So it has a very nice all metal finish, has an EASITALY logo right here on the front. I feel like they could have did a slightly better name. This whole surface is gonna be hot, so make sure you don't touch it while we're using it or immediately afterwards, because this thing's gonna stay hot for about an hour. All right, we have a good amount of space in here. I would like it a little bit more open, but this should be fine. Down on the bottom, we actually have the legs. Looks like we have 3 legs, 1 in the back and 2 in the front, much like a tripod. But they are feeling very strong, very sturdy. And then right here is where we have the actual igniter and the flame unit, and whatever you want to call it, where the propane's going in here, igniting and putting 900 degrees of power into our pizza oven. Okay, this thing looks pretty nice. Kind of looks like a spaceship. Actually, looks like the Cybertruck, Elon. Where's it at? So over on this side, it says, when using it for the first time, press the knob switch for about 2 to 5 seconds to fill the hose on low pressure regulator with gas. Otherwise, it will extinguish immediately. Okay. And then it has a 2-year warranty as well as a 90-day non-artificial damage refund, yada, yada, yada. And then this is how you're going to ignite it and adjust the temperature. So you're going to push it in, turn it left, it ignites, and then you can adjust how much flame you want. Very cool. And then turn it back off. Now, I'm not sure why, but this thing is like locked on here, which is good, although not when you want to replace the hose. Although, you know, if you got a wrench or something, you can definitely get it off. So now we're not wasting any time. We're gonna get the propane attached, nice and secure. Open up the valve. We're gonna take our pizza stone, throw this thing inside. Oh, it actually does drop in there and it is securely in place. The other one was just kind of sitting up on top. So this is actually pretty nice. Nice and flush. So inside's looking very nice. Pizza stone down here on the bottom, a little bit on the edge. So it looks like the pizza could be bigger if the stone went all the way edge to edge, which would have been nice. Up top, I don't like how this is coming down because it gives you less room to work with. But inside, the fire is gonna be rolling around through the back. And speaking of fires rolling through the back, let's get this thing ignited. All right, so we're gonna push it in, hold it for 2 to 5 seconds, and ignite. Okay, didn't work. Okay, there's the gas. Whoa! Is it going? It extinguished immediately like they said. Okay, let me see. Oh, you have to hold it, I guess. There we go. So now we are oh my God, that looks nice, and it's very hot. I can feel it on my face. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna let this thing heat up for about 15 minutes, go put a pizza together, and come back and see if we can cook it in 60 seconds. All right, y'all, it's been 15 minutes. We got the pizza ready, and I can just feel the heat coming out of here. One thing I did notice that's different from the other pizza oven I had is up here on the top. Ow, it's burning my hand. There's no vents here, so all the heat is literally trapped in there and just coming out of the front. I got my own laser thermometer here just in case the other one's not too accurate, not sure, so I'm just gonna use this professional one. Oh, it's hot. So let's see how hot this thing is. So the fire in the back, oh my God, the fire in the back's 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. The stone in the back is 1000, almost 1100. The middle is 800 to 900 degrees Fahrenheit. And the front is even 600 degrees. Ow, it's burning my hand. 600 degrees all the way in the front. That is a huge change compared to the other one where it was only like 200 to 300 in the front and 500 in the back. This thing is getting me really excited to make some pizza because I think we can actually make a Neapolitan style pizza in 60 seconds, and that's what we're gonna do. Now, of course, if you wanna make it as fast as possible, we're gonna keep it at max heat, but of course you can dial it down, get the flame a little bit smaller. Let me see how that looks. Oh, it's still hot, but it is lower temperature, so you can do a slow bake if you want to. But for our challenge right now, pumping it all the way up to the maximum level. You guys ready to make a pizza in 60 seconds? I'm pretty excited. All right, so I got the pizza here, Neapolitan style. Of course, I'm not gonna call it a Neapolitan pizza because Italians are gonna get mad at me, but it's close. So we got it right here. I did leave the middle open so we can watch the cheese melt to see how hot this thing is. So we're gonna try to do this in 60 seconds. First time, close to the fire. It's possible we'll burn this thing, but you know, that's all the fun in the first bake. So let's get to it. So I'm gonna just ease it on in. Okay, I kind of got scared going too close to the fire, so it's a little bit too far away, but you know, we'll do this live, no cuts. So just watch that pizza. Oh, I can hear it. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, come look at this, look at sizzling. The crust is rising dramatically. I can see fire spewing out of the back. It's going up on the top of this. Oh, it's burning the pepperoni. You gotta turn this after about 15 seconds because it's cooking it fast. It actually caught on fire. Okay, you might want to turn down the heat, I guess. But we're gonna just let it go. Let's see what happens. We do quarter turns every 15 seconds or so. This thing is cooking extremely fast. As long as we got a nice crispy bottom, I'm gonna be happy. Oh, it's actually catching on fire. Okay, this thing is actually on fire. I'm gonna actually turn down the heat a little bit because that flame is coming up the top. Oh, this might be a fail here. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna turn it all the way down. Whew. This thing's actually on fire. Okay, pizza's done. Uh-oh. Off. Okay, guys. God. Good news is it cooked it really fast, I think. But oh my God. Oh, I mean, it looks nice in the middle. Oh my God, we destroyed this thing. Let's see what oh my God, this thing's still on fire? Oh my God, we charred this thing like crazy. Let's see what the bottom looks like. Did we get a nice crispy bottom at least? Oh man, this pizza looks like it would have been perfect if I didn't set it on fire. Okay, so you know, just don't eat the crust on this one, I guess. But I mean, come on, that cheese is looking good. I like a little crispiness on that, and the pepperoni started curdling. That's how hot this thing is. I think you might want to bring the temperature down when you go to cook this thing. There's no way. There's no way. The fire was right on top of this thing. It's igniting the whole thing. Got the whole stone burned black. Oh my gosh. Remember, it did come with a pizza cutter, but I'm a Viking, so I gotta cut it like this. Whoa. Oh man, this pizza's sounding great. The only problem is that it's charred to hell. Oh man. So let's actually give this thing a little taste test. Oh, it's a little floppy though. The bottom is looking crispy. Okay, this thing is hot. Oh my God, we got that cheese pull. Okay. For 60 seconds, that pizza tastes amazing. It's perfectly cooked through. If it wasn't for it catching on fire and igniting the edges completely like this would be a perfect pizza. It tastes really good. Cheese tastes great, has that nice flavor. Crust has a nice crisp to it. Oh man, I really like this pizza. I just gotta fix the crust issue. With that being said, I'm gonna have to definitely make another one to see if we can stop that from happening, because if that keeps happening, this pizza oven's gonna be a fail. So let's get to it. All right guys, so as you can probably tell, it's been quite a while since we first unboxed this thing. It's been about a month and I've been doing some trial and error to try to figure out the best ways to use this thing. And before we get on to our next bake where I show you how to actually do a bake without it catching on fire, I have a couple of tips and tricks that I discovered with this thing. The first thing is that you can get away with preheating this for only 10 minutes if you don't mind having a bit of a floppy crust if you're in a hurry. Just keep in mind that it is on max heat. Now as far as the heating goes, this is maximum heat, which is what you're going to be using while you're preheating the stone. You can also go down to minimum heat, which is where you're generally going to be at when you're baking your pizza once the stone is to temperature. You want to have about 750 degrees in the center. Now that being said, there's also a secret little part on the knob where you can get even lower heat, although keep in mind if it's windy it can blow out pretty easily, so you got to keep an eye on it. But if you want to do more of a slow bake, you go right between maximum heat where you ignite it and turning it off, and you can kind of play around with the temperature. Okay, we're maxed out, there we go. See, I'm very low, but the lower you go, the easier it is for it to blow out. Right here is pretty low and it looks like it should be pretty steady, so slow baking, it's possible. I guess that's basically all the tips and tricks I had for this thing. Pretty simple, very straightforward. So I'm gonna go get a pizza ready. The dough I'm using is a Neapolitan style dough with just flour, yeast, water, and salt. Very basic, very simple. I have been actually playing around with different types of dough, including New York style dough, which does have salt in it, but keep in mind with temperatures like this, you wanna definitely slow bake, but also the sugar is gonna burn with this high temperature, so you kind of got to keep an eye on it. It can be done, but you just got to be careful because that thing burns fast. All right, so I got my amazing pizza here, slightly misshapen, but it's gonna taste just as good. Got some pepperoni, a bunch of different kinds of cheese, some salami, all on my nice Neapolitan style crust. One thing to keep in mind is you wanna always make sure to shake it before you launch it into the pizza oven, because if it gets stuck and half of it gets on the stone, half of it stuck on here, you're gonna have a really bad time. Trust me, I've done it a couple times because I thought I could do it. It's a mess. You don't want that, especially with this much heat. Also, when it comes to launching the pizza, I like to use cornmeal, although cornmeal hitting a stone at 1,000 degrees bursts into flames a lot, so keep that in mind because you might have a little burnt edges, but you know, not too bad. As before, we're gonna do a 100% uncut bake. We're gonna drop the temperature down to the minimum, not the secret minimum, but the minimum that you get when you just turn the knob all the way. We're gonna give it one last shake. We don't want to mess up on this launch, and time to launch it. All right, pretty good, pretty good. We're gonna want to turn this thing every 15 seconds or so because the back will cook relatively quickly, especially by that open flame. All right, looking good. We got some smoke coming. You can hear that sizzle. You guys hear that sizzle? Oh, it's so hot over there. Don't stand too close. Start turning it, quarter turns or so, you know, just to get it evenly baked all around. The bottom is definitely going to be cooking very quickly because that stone is pushing 1,100 degrees in the back and about 800 in the middle. Oh man, this is looking good. Oh, I wish you guys could smell this. It smells divine. Oh, look at that, got some nice char going. Now some people think it gets burned. Now it can, but you do want a little bit of char. It gives it that extra flavor, I love it. Got some bubbles popping. Ooh. Take a look how that bottom's coming out. Oh, the bottom's looking good, very leopardy. That cheese is bubbling, the pepperonis are cupping. That giant salami in the middle is cupping a bit. Oh, this is looking fabulous, guys. I might have finally recorded one live that looks good. I always mess up, get a little camera shy or something. It gets a little difficult, but I make pizzas all the time, and they're amazing. Like, here we go, look at that thing. Oh man, we got that nice burnt cheese. Personal preference, I like the taste of some charred cheese, and this is looking fabulous. Now that we got the pizza done, it's insanely hot. I'm gonna let it cool down for a couple minutes, cut this thing up, and we're gonna taste it. Although I already know it's gonna taste amazing. I normally do like to cut the pizza with my pizza axe. It makes me feel awesome. If you wanna get one of these, link down below in the description, of course, I'll hook you guys up. But when it's too hot, which it usually is because I can't wait, the toppings do tend to peel off a bit. Let's see if I can actually maybe do it a little bit differently than I normally do, a little bit less rough. The pizza oven is off, but it is still on fire. You know what, I actually did a good job. We're not gonna need the rocker today, but I always recommend having a rocker on hand because it makes things pretty easy. Although this makes you feel cool. All right, so this actually does work very well if you're actually gentle with it. I usually just start sawing at this thing. But now that we got this thing cut, it's definitely pizza time. Which slice is calling my name? I like this one. It's got cheese, pepperoni, salami. Ooh, oh, it's still very hot to the touch. Looking great. Bottom has some nice char. Crust is looking good. Probably gonna burn my face, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do when it's pizza time. Cheese ball. So hot. It was so good. Like I was telling you, that charred cheese really hits different. So one thing I did here by total accident, but it'll help us out right here. This slice right here, not very crispy. It's a little bit floppy, a little softer, closer to Neapolitan because you don't have all the crispiness. But the other half, cooked it a wee bit longer, and we got more char and more crunch. Of course, leave it in there a little longer if you want it more crunchy. But you know, I like to cook it as fast as possible. Sometimes it comes out crunchy, sometimes not. Depends what you want to do. But you still can't beat this homemade pizza. All right, so I actually threw this third piece back inside. It's actually really hot to the touch because I wanted to show you guys that you can actually just turn the fire off and use the heat from the stone to get the crust extra crispy if you want to without cooking the top more, because that fire cooks the top fast with that direct heat. So I did throw it in there again just on the stone, and as you can see, no flop whatsoever. Nice char on the bottom. Still very, very hot because that stone stays hot for hours, at least an hour, maybe not. 2 hours, it's still warm. So let's try this thing out. That's how hot the stone is after the fire's off. Still very hot because this pizza feels like I just took it out of the oven, which I technically did. But we got that crunch. It always feels stupid biting into a hot pizza right out of the oven, but sometimes you can't wait because it's just so good, especially when you made it yourself and you want to be proud of your moment. This is how I prefer it. No flop, no crunch, cheese pull, charred cheese, perfection. Now here's something you guys should try. The other day I made this very nice Parmesan garlic chicken pizza. Like, that's the one that should have been on this video. It was perfect, it was amazing. I feel like I like it even better than having a standard one with standard tomato sauce. It was so good. Definitely give that one a shot. I didn't have any spinach, but it was still amazing with all that chicken and that creamy garlic Parmesan sauce. Let me know what your favorite kind of pizza is and maybe give me some suggestions on what kind of pizzas I should make. I've made Neapolitan style, with some air quotes because this isn't technically a Neapolitan pizza. I've made pan pizzas in here. I've roasted onions in here. You can do a lot of stuff in here. Use it like an onion. I still got to make a steak in here because that looks like it's going to be fire. But you can use this for more than just pizza. Just let your imagination run wild. Just keep in mind that it's extremely hot. So you kind of got to work with what you got and figure out how to cook different things. But all in all, good pizza oven, good control, very hot, and the pizza always tastes delicious.